How much longer will you wait to demand the best from yourself? We all know we have potential. We all know there are things we need to stop doing, and we all know there are things we need to start doing. However, we often tell ourselves that we will do it later. At the end of the year, everyone reflects on how the year has passed and thinks about how they want the new year to be better. In reality, what they are talking about are habits. Epictetus once summarized all of Stoic philosophy in just 2 words: persist and resist. In other words, there are some things we need to keep doing. As we look ahead at the beginning of the new year, it's the perfect time to quit some destructive habits. Consider what you do on a daily basis, both big and small actions. In today's episode, I want to talk about some inspirational habits you can consider as you enter a new year, habits to quit and habits to start. I hope you create a new version of yourself. Think small. I believe the first step in starting is truly thinking small. George Washington's favorite saying was, "Many mickles make a muckle," an old Scottish proverb that means every little thing adds up. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno, said that health happens through small steps. However, it's not just about doing something small, it's about committing to doing more. You don't promise yourself to read more. Instead, you decide to read 1 page a day. You don't change your diet or exercise. You decide to start taking walks. Make a small decision and then build on it. I love James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. The concept of atomic habits is that small changes lead to remarkable results. Consider what the word atomic means. It's the smallest unit imaginable. So, when we think about habits, let's really start from the smallest. Don't lie to yourself. Don't stand in your own way. Think about the smallest thing you can start with. Don't let your worries rule you. This year, don't succumb to your anxieties. You must stop allowing anxiety to govern you. In one of the passages in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, he says, "Today I escaped anxiety," or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. Your anxiety is not caused by the plane, but by you. You are responsible for your emotions, and you are the one reflecting the responsibility for the anxiety. It doesn't help you. It doesn't make you better. It does nothing for the problem. You torment yourself by predicting what could or could not happen. I have never been a prisoner of anxiety. I have never traveled somewhere or embarked on a big project and afterwards thought, "I'm so glad I was so anxious about this." No, it upset those around me. It upset me. It did nothing for me. It won't do anything for you this year either. Establish a routine. I believe it's impossible to have good habits without a routine. Develop and stick to a routine. One of my rules is not to touch my phone first thing in the morning. I journal in the mornings, and one of my biggest habits is tackling my significant creative project first. I avoid getting lost in social media, having a meeting, watching TV before dealing with my major creative project. I emphasize again, I am a morning person. I conquer the morning. I succeed in the morning. It wasn't just naturally who I am. It's something I needed to develop and build. You need a routine. As Ryan Holiday says, "The man without a routine is at the mercy of life's chaos and the unpredictable." Establish a routine and stick to it. These are small things. When you wake up, when you go to bed, what time you have lunch, what you do, what you don't do. Create a routine and stick to it. Order yourself to quit your bad habits. The story of Dwight D. Eisenhower is one of the most impactful stories for me. He had a habit of smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day for 40 years. One day he was told, "If you don't stop, you will die. Your heart is hurting, your lungs are hurting. If you want to continue to serve the country, you have to quit." Eisenhower's famous words were, "I gave myself an order and I stopped." He quit smoking after 40 years. In essence, this is quite a Stoic idea. Epictetus said, He who has no master is not free. We are all slaves to something. Some people are slaves to sex or mistresses, some to power or ambition, and maybe some of us are slaves to that morning cup of coffee. We all know there are things we need to stop doing to become the person we want to be. One foundational habit for the coming year is letting go of valuable resources. Seneca said, "We are all slaves to something." Some are slaves to sex or mistresses, some to power or ambition. Perhaps some of us are slaves to that morning cup of coffee. We all know there are things we need to stop doing to become the person we want to be. Claiming not to have time is a common excuse. However, if you put a screen time app on your phone, you'll realize that you do have time. You're just choosing to spend it on trivial things. You say you don't have time, but you're watching this video. We waste too much time on trivial matters. One of the best habit changes I've made is gaining a broader perspective. Of course, you need to know what's happening in the world, but you don't need to be obsessed with it in real time. Epictetus advises that if you want to grow, you should be willing not to know some things. Focus on what matters. Lock in your time to eliminate time-consuming things and concentrate on acquiring better habits. Build relationships with people who make you better. With whom you associate can greatly impact your life. It's said that if you have unhealthy friends, you'll become unhealthy. If you have ambitious friends, you'll become ambitious. You tend to become like your friends. According to an old saying, if you live with a limping person, you'll start limping too. Who are your peers? Whom do you spend the most time with, and how do you average out with them? By the way, we have a Stoic living community that I would love for you to join. It's a private Discord group where you can ask me questions, share your critiques about the videos, and engage in discussions with other Stoic individuals. There's a link in the video description. Take a look. I consider it one of the best things we do. The idea is similar to what we see in Seneca's letters to Lucilius, where Seneca and Lucilius communicate and learn from each other. Having a peer group like this is a fundamental habit that makes both individuals better. So, consider who you're spending time with this year. It's a foundational habit that will make you better this year. Stop being afraid of change. In the beautiful passages about not fearing change, by working on focusing only on what you can control, you not only avoid getting caught up in something you can't control, but you also prevent yourself from missing out on all the great opportunities that may come your way. Look, we are living in an era of chaos, a time when institutions are breaking down, an age of innovation where new institutions are being created. So instead of fearing what will happen as a result of this, Stoics this year should adapt to change, embrace it rather than fight it, and say no to unnecessary things rather than fearing or getting angry about it. Because, as per Stoicism, what will happen is beyond your control, and what you need to focus on is what you can do about it. Say no to the unnecessary. Say no to what Marcus says is mostly not necessary. But when we say no to unnecessary things, Marcus argues that it benefits us doubly when we eliminate them, so we can then do the fundamental things better. Understand that saying yes to one thing means saying no to another, and more importantly, when you say no to unimportant things, it gives you the opportunity to say yes to what truly matters. A little yes, not a soft yes, but an emphatic two-footed yes. This is what you need to be successful, happy, and good. Return to rhythm. Missing is inevitable. Marcus did it. Everyone does it. Antoninus Pius probably did it too. That's why Marcus Aurelius says, when you fall, pick yourself up. But he also says, celebrate that you're human. What matters is getting back into the rhythm, he says. Circumstances will shake us, disrupt the order. Our diet, our New Year's resolutions, we'll stick to the progress we've recorded. No problem. What matters is that you get back up. What matters is often sticking to it, always coming back to it. Here we are, Looking down the barrel of the new year, a year ago, 10 minutes ago, it would have been better to make changes, improvements in yourself. But as they say, the second best time to do it is now. Marcus really said that life requires you to be a wrestler and be ready for sudden attacks. You need to be strong, prepared, says Epictetus. He says you should face every situation as if it's a training for what you want to be in life. In the daily struggle of a Stoic in the new year, this is what we do. Instead of waiting, postponing, saying, "I'll do it later," you must do it now. We've come to the end of another Stoic video, my friends. Liking and subscribing helps us reach these informative videos to others in need. Don't forget to comment, stay strong until the end of the video. I hope you live your new year like a Stoic. Thanks for everything. Stay strong.